Welcome back to Northwest Premier's Week 6 Roundup. Presented to you by Premier U Sports. My name is Clarence Presley. To my right is Deshaun Presley. And to my left, Charles Burnham.
Yes.
Well, guys, we're back again, and it's time for us to do a recap of Week 6, starting off with our Game of the Week.
Most definitely.
That Game of the Week, man, is one of the first ones that I think I've missed out of the last couple of weeks.
Right.
You know, and when I say miss, I mean miss my prediction. I thought it was going to be a heck of a game, bro.
Right.
You know, I mean, my last couple, they were tough.
Yeah,
they were some serious
It
games.
was right on. It was on point.
And man, we get out here for this game against the Puget Sound Lancers senior team against Beacon Hill. And, hey, their coaches made sure I knew that it shouldn't have been a game of the week.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So we're out there on the sideline at Renton Memorial Stadium, myself and Deshaun and a couple others, and every touchdown.
Every touchdown.
Coach Kurt and Coach Heem is looking over there at us. They're yelling at the crowd, at the fans, like, what? What? I think my guy Marcus walked over to us and said, they scared. They ain't ready for this. I'm like, oh, my God. Then the cats came up to me, bro, and said, where's Charles?
Right.
Where's Charles?
I left after the sophomore game.
They was looking for Chuck.
So Chuck, what do you got to say?
Bro,
hey, because didn't you make a prediction? Wait, before I get to you, what was your prediction?
Hey, my prediction was 21-13.
In favor of who?
In favor of the Puget Sound Lancers. Now,
You got one part right.
yeah, I got one part right. You know
I'm
that
not
they were
saying that's a good job.
that they were going to win.
You
Oh, it's a
missed the
great
score
job.
by a mile.
Yeah. Hey, I may have missed the score by a mile, but I did give them the victory.
But I think that's why they were beefing with you.
Hey, but I mean, 21 points,
But you picked
21-13. Okay, yeah, I picked them. And Leon came up and shook my hand afterwards and said, hey, I thank you for picking us because nobody else believed in us. Unlike this guy over here, he had no belief system. So, Chuck, what do you have to say?
Nobody.
Hey,
Chuck, what do
I
you got to
was
say?
playing the money line, dude. I'm telling you.
Sounds good.
Money. Hey, I had no clue. I'm telling you right now. Nobody
We know that.
disagreed.
You had no clue. We know that.
When I said, hey, it's going to be a perimeter game, all speed, nobody disagreed with me.
Hey.
I didn't see nobody piping in on the live chat, none of that.
Hey,
They thought you were talking about the Lancers.
right.
No, I said both
Because
teams, man.
that's exactly what it was. It was a perimeter game on the outside.
Man, I didn't see the game, but it sounded like it was played in quicksand.
Hey,
So
I'll put it like this. Overall, watching that game from start to finish, I mean, it was total domination. I mean, that's just what it was. Last week, watching Marcus McCraney, that kid is something to reckon with, man. I mean, one play that just stands out in my mind, we all were there on the sideline when we seen it. He ran off to the left-hand side. Defender decided they wanted to step in front of him, and I've never seen. It's like what I explained to you. You ever walked into like a freezer and they have those plastic sheets that are hanging there, and you kind of just walk through? They don't really do anything to you. The defender was those plastic sheets that were hanging there.
Like
I mean,
water, huh?
literally ran through the kid. I mean, in full stride. There was no stop. There was nothing. Literally ran through him and
bounce
scored
off.
nothing.
Really?
Score. I mean. He's a freak of nature, man. He runs harder than any kid that I've seen literally this year in the state. I'm gonna say for that matter. I haven't seen any kid that runs as hard as he does. Wow. It's hard to get in front of this kid and actually stop him. So it was
Marcus is a heck of a runner.
Yeah.
And I told these guys you cannot arm tackle him.
Oh, definitely not.
There's probably only one other kid that I know out in this area that runs as hard as him off the snap, and he's not in our league. He's in the Gypsy League, and that's a kid by the name of Justin Drake.
Okay.
You know, that plays for Bellarmine Prep. He's his fellow teammate on FBU, but they both run extremely hard from the line of scrimmage. But Marcus, man, I told you guys he's like what's the word Rob used? He says, man, he's a fire hydrant.
yeah.
He's like I mean, doggone it, man. He's tough, you know, to deal with. But heck of a game.
Heck of a game.
You know, I will say this, though. I will say this in Beacon Hill's defense. You can't win games when you make that many turnovers.
Right.
There was
Right.
the first score was a fumble.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
It was.
Right off the second score was a fumble. The third score was another. Now the play wasn't necessarily fumble, but they fumbled. I want to say 3 or 4 times in a row. You know, on each possession, and that made it difficult. It's hard to get going. But the defense was swarming.
Yeah.
The speed there, and it wasn't just Marcus. I'm
Right.
talking about
Oh, no,
DJ,
definitely.
Jalen.
Across the board.
I mean, Cora Hata. I
yeah.
mean, there was guys coming from every direction.
That defense
you know,
was bananas.
They were swarming.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they look good, man.
So
did.
could Beacon
They
just
did.
not even get to the edge then?
Beacon couldn't get to the
Yeah,
edge
it was
at all.
There was no daylight. Man.
There was the quarterback didn't have much time.
Yeah.
But I will say this. if you're talking about, in the trenches,
Oh my goodness.
Naomi
There's a
from
young-
Beacon Hill
oh, my
was
goodness.
taking 2 players by herself.
Right. And there was a play that was actually where basically she took 2 guys to the ground by herself, literally.
Really?
Blocked both of them. And the reason why I know it to be true is because Coach Raheem heard us say it and turned and looked at us and smiled like, that was
I
crazy.
saw that too.
I saw it too. So she on that side of the ball, I mean, like you said, in them trenches, she's definitely a beast, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I can tell you, if I get to put in a bid, she's going to definitely be an all-star because she holds it down.
Yeah.
She holds it down, man.
Hey, we got some competitive girls in our league.
Yeah.
we got some girls that are coming out and competing this year.
Right.
I mean, we've had girls in the past. They're there, but you wouldn't consider them all-star, Northwest Premier all-star caliber. I mean, we got a few girls out here at a couple of different levels.
Oh, yeah.
That I'll be surprised if they don't make one of these all-star teams.
Hey, man, it's going to be interesting. Let's transition, guys, because I don't want Kurt's head to get too big. Then we're talking about his team.
Oh, man.
I almost caught him and gave him a forfeit just to mess with him. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to transition. Let's talk about standings right now. Let's talk about where we're at. We don't necessarily have to go over all the rankings, but at least look at the top 4 in each bracket. Can you go ahead and give us an overview on the freshmen, starting with the freshmen?
Freshman bracket, it's getting tight. We're going into week 7.
I guess you got to go through all of them. Go ahead and read them.
You got Puget Sound, 5-1, 5-star, 5-1, tied up.
Tied for first place.
Tied for first. Tied for third. You got Beacon Hill and Tacoma both at 3-3.
Yeah.
In
Wow.
the Green Division. So, and right behind them, if either one of those teams falters this week or next, you got White Center and SWAC breathing right down Beacon Hill and Tacoma's back. So look out.
They're 2-4, huh?
2
so
and 4.
it's a game that separates a few of these guys.
Yep. It's a game that separates a few of them. So, I'll be shocked if we don't see, if Beacon Hill or Tacoma falls down these last 2 weeks, you're going to see a tiebreaker having to get played in that Green Division.
Right.
Over in the Gray Division, you got that, the still 5-0-1 CD and Rainier with those ties.
Right.
From that epic battle they had a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And then you got Benson, Auburn, then Benson, rounding out the top 4 there on the Gray side. Sophomores, we got 5-star Puget Sound.
Sophomore division.
Sophomores. Big time battle this weekend. That obviously we'll talk about that later. But you got 5-star Puget Sound tied for first place.
Really?
In the Green Division, yes.
Wow.
And same thing again as the freshman division. In the sophomore division, we got the 3 and the 4 seed, or 3 and 3. But you got the 5 seed SWAC breathing right down their back. So if either one of these teams stumbles down the stretch,
Right.
now they obviously gonna be playing in the middle of the week to get in.
Right.
Right.
Green on the Gray side, you got CD still undefeated. One of the few undefeated teams left in our league. I think we only, if I'm not mistaken, there's only 4 left in the entire league.
Possibly.
Yeah. Auburn at 5-1.
Auburn, I just saw Mike Valdez get on there. Mike has been politicking. He was on Northwest Facts. Hey,
What about my
what
boys?
about my boys?
Right,
Your
right.
voice is good, Mike.
Yeah, they
Good
are.
stuff. Good looking out, man. Great showing. SeaTac 4-2. Benson 3-3, rounding out that top 4 on the Gray side. Junior division, we got another great battle that obviously we'll talk about this later. But now you got 5-star at 5-1, Puget Sound at 4-2. You got Beacon Hill in third at 3-3, and White Center at 2-4, rounding up the top 4 on the green side at the junior division. On the Gray side, you still got those 2 undefeated, CD and SeaTac. And then you've got 2 3-3s rounding out the top 4, but Rainier is breathing right down their backs. Only a game back going into the last 2 games of the season. Senior division, we got green side. We got Puget Sound, Beacon Hill at 4-2. Puget Sound's undefeated, obviously.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I would have got a
Oh,
call.
man.
Hey, man, you just said we're in first place. You didn't give us our record.
Clint.
Tell them their record again. What's Puget Sound's record?
Puget Sound's record is 6-0. Curtis, lose my number. All right, 5-star, 3-3. SWAC 4-2. And
Well,
White,
that's backwards then.
I'm
So
yeah.
SWAC should be 3.
Yes, correction.
Sean Sweet.
Yeah, Sean.
Swack is in third place.
And read the bottom of the standings. It gives you.
Oh,
the
actually, I'm sorry. Swack is tied for second.
Yep.
With Beacon Hill
Tied
at
for
4-2.
Okay.
Have they played yet?
They play this week.
They play this
That's-
week.
okay.
That's going to be one. That's another one.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. So you got Puget Sound at 6-0, Beacon Hill at 4-2, tied with SWAC at 4-2, 5-Star rounding out the top 4 at 3-3. But White Center is right there waiting for somebody to stumble at 2-4. On the gray side, Rainier, the Ravens, obviously still undefeated. Coach Sam Adams been real lucky this season so far.
He says Sam has been lucky. That's going to be an interesting conversation.
Right.
Did that man just say I'm lucky?
Right.
Hey, it happens. CD 4-2 in the 2 seed, and you got two 3-3 teams, Lakewood and SeaTac, right there at 3-3, fighting it out for those last 2 spots in the gray division, in the gray conference in the senior division. Again, read the bottom of the standings. It gives you the dates of the rounds of the playoffs. We don't have the seeding. We don't know what seed is playing where. But when we get that information, we'll let you know. We're trying to keep as many franchises together that have multiple teams in the playoffs as possible, so you don't have to go to 2 different venues. It's not going to work for everybody, but that's what we're trying to do.
So let's talk about this playoff structure real quick. We just had a conversation a minute ago. Now, we're saying we're going to have these head-to-head games for these tiebreakers to get in. Now, are we also talking about doing the same thing for teams that may be tied for first place? I had a couple coaches call me and say, hey, we can care less where we land in the standings. But obviously for some, they do care. It matters who that 3rd and 4th seed is.
Yeah.
So what's the plan as an AD in the league? What's the plan? Are we doing head-to-head Kansas City for those teams that are tied during the week as well? If they want to contest that, hey, we'll rather be the 1st seed, not the 2nd seed. Are we doing a head-to-head for that?
I believe a head-to-head situation definitely would have to take place. I mean,
for those who want
for those that want it.
Because I know some coaches have said that they don't want to do it because they don't want to play that team and see them again in the playoffs. But for those who want that seeding,
for the ones who want that seeding, if it means that much, I mean, there's no, we don't see any reason why not to do it. Being able to go ahead and play it out, and let it play on the field. They have to agree for it to be done.
So if one team wants to do it and the other one doesn't, obviously the team that wants to do it is going to get that higher seed.
Exactly. So,
but we're not flipping coins.
No, there's no
coins, but you can expect I think there's going to be some talk next season about including that, looking at the head-to-head results during the regular season when we have 2 teams in the same conference tied for a seeding.
Right.
So if we have a team, like I think we've got 2 4-2 teams in the, Puget Sound 5-Star tied for 1st place.
But they're going to play each other.
Yeah.
So it's going to work itself out.
The
only team I see really with that issue would be the Ravens and CD's freshmen because they have that tie. Most of the teams are going to work it out.
Right.
There may be something, but for the most part, if you have to play each other, somebody had to win.
Right.
That's the only tie that we got.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it could come down to, like you said, Puget Sound 5-Star play this week. One wins, obviously. Somebody's going to win. Hopefully, we won't have another tie on our hands.
Right.
But maybe the team that wins this week turns around and loses next week. Now we're right back in the same boat again, where they finish the season both at 6-2. 5-3 or something like that. So it could happen. But I think like we've already told our all the clubs, hey, every tie is going to get settled on the field, middle of the week, preceding round 1 playoffs. So we have to stay with that for now. But just my idea is, hey, any moment, any opportunity we can take in putting less wear and tear on the kids' bodies, let's take advantage of that.
Right.
So that's why I think next year I think there'll be some discussion about head-to-head battle, who won in head-to-head, then that's who gets the higher seed.
And remember, point differential has nothing to do with it at all.
I don't see us ever counting that.
There should be no way that you're going out to try and put a 50-piece on somebody because you think that's going to help you as far as for the seeding. It doesn't. So please, coaches, stay away from that at all costs, please.
And I see Xavier Blue, he's clowning, talking about TCYFL and flip a coin with, and Xavier's funny. Hey man, good luck this week. I know you guys are undefeated also in your league. What with the Tacoma Panthers 5th grade squad. Go out there and do work. You guys got one last week, I think, of regular play, and then you guys hit your playoffs a week before we do.
Right.
Ooh,
And
Curtis. Going
close.
out on a limb. Beacon beats SWAC seniors 35-13.
Is that what Kurt said?
That's what he said.
Kurt calling cats out here, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Hey, we'll take it.
Michael Valdez says senior game we want to see is Lancers versus Ravens. Everybody wants to see it, but that only happened in the championship.
Right.
Get in line. Buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket. I think we're gonna mark up for that game.
Yeah. You guys might have to get season packages for that one.
Right. No, that definitely. I understand where they're coming from with that, with the whole Beacon Hill, or excuse me, the Puget Sound Lancers and Rainier game. I mean, that definitely would be a game to watch. I mean, everybody, I believe, will come out from all over the state to see that one. You know what I mean? So,
hey man, it's the way God designed it. Y'all know I'm gonna give the Lord a plug because it was all random.
Right.
Who knew that they wouldn't be in the same division?
Right.
And it. What's your word? Parity?
Parity, man.
It's working out the parity. So if they end up now, don't sleep because in the playoffs anything can happen. The teams you think that's going to be there may not be there.
Beautiful thing about Little League.
But more than likely, their chances are they're going to meet up there, and that is going to be a game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a heck of a game. So we're looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and switch it up, you guys. Before we get to All-Star Weekend, let's go ahead and talk about our Game of the Weeks that we see coming for Week 7. I'm going to tell you my pick, and then we'll hear from you guys. Right. And there was an extra game you threw in there that we didn't think about that needs to be added to that. But my pick of Game of the Week is going to actually be Benson versus CD Freshman.
Right.
I'm saying it. Hey, Coach T. Elmore is my guy. I know CD is a machine, and they're deep.
Yeah, they are.
But man, I just got exposed to Benson's freshman team and Will Conroy's son.
Yeah.
Man, that dude is a stud, bro.
Man.
I mean, he's built like a grown man.
Already. Seriously.
And I know football's a team sport.
Right.
But man,
hey,
they pushed the Ravens to the max.
Yeah.
And I know CDT's like, we ain't the Ravens, but I'm just saying, they pushed the Ravens to the max. Ravens won by 1 point. Matt, don't be mad at me. It was a heck of a game. But the reality is, I think it's going to be the game of the week.
Don't let the record fool you for Benson. We all know why their record is what it is.
Right.
But that team was doing quite well until that hiccup.
Right.
But they definitely, by no means are they a 2-4 team.
Oh, heck no.
And if CD goes in there thinking that, somebody's going to get hit over the head with a surprise.
Right.
And they're still in that playoff contention, so somebody has to deal with them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And Auburn better keep it moving. They better keep it moving, or they could end up losing that seed, that third seed. Then, although at the end of the day, pick your poison when it comes to Rainier and CD at that freshman level.
Right.
But Dre, you ready, right?
Right.
I know Dre's getting his freshmen ready. He said, don't be throwing us up under the bus, Joe. That's my prediction. Who's your prediction, Sean?
So my prediction for this week will be the Puget Sound Lancers Juniors versus the 5-star Juniors.
So that's Coach Marshall. That ain't Curtis.
Right. That's Coach Marshall, and that's going to be against Coach Frank. And the reason why I picked this game is because right now in the standings, 5-star is on top of their division at 5-1. The Lancers are 4-2. So with this game, say 5-star takes an L, now you got a tie at the top of those standings, which is going to shake things up a little bit. So I think this is a big game for both sides. If they come out and do what they're supposed to do, I think this could be a epic game, just as far as what we had with the CD and Rainier freshman game. To be honest, I think that it can come down to that. So that's my pick for the week, man. I see great talent on both sides. Marquand is a heck of a player over there on the Lancers side. And of course, on 5-star, you have a bevy of players that are nice on that side. So Marshall is a great coach. Always has his kids coached up.
He's a teacher.
He is. He definitely is. And so
shout out to Coach Pat.
Most definitely. So we'll see, man. I just think that game is going to be it's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of focus on that game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and like you said, and under that scenario, if 5-star were to take an L on that, now you're looking at two teams that got to turn right back around right before the playoffs start and play each other in the middle of the week because they're going to be tied for first seed unless one of them concedes and gives up their seeding, gives up that higher seeding. So This is huge.
It is.
This is
It
real
is.
huge.
It is.
You know, it's going to have a lot of implications on how that whole green division conference shakes out.
Most definitely.
What's your game of the week?
My game of the week, going back to the babies. Puget Sound 5-star, tied up for first place right now, 5-1. I think it's going to be a great battle. I don't know Young Buck's name on Puget Sound, but last week,
Right.
Oh, they got 3 of them.
They got
he was
3
using
of
the
them,
truck
man.
stick.
Yeah.
He was using the truck stick
They
a
got-
lot.
yeah.
You know, against it was a great game. I want to say they only won by, I want to say it was 26-20.
Yeah,
That
I
freshman
believe so.
game against Beacon.
I believe
it was
so.
a great game. Went down to the wire. But man, the tailback was
Yeah.
for real.
Oh, yeah.
So 5-star better be ready because this is going to be a physical battle. And you know, like
Now,
I
what do
said,
you guys look like on the sophomore division? Is it the same with the Lancers and 5-star?
Lancers and 5-star
Are tied again?
tied again, 4-2 in the grade.
Reggie Reg.
Here he
Yep.
is.
Reg might.
What, Coach D? Oh, my goodness.
Can we get
Coach
another
D.
push-up bowl?
Yeah.
Can we get another?
Hey, that's up to the coaches. That's up to y'all.
Yeah.
That's up to y'all. Y'all put that
So,
together.
It's huge because you got, like you said, they're both tied for 1 and 2. They're tied for first place, and then you got Beacon Hill Tacoma
Yeah.
tied for third place. So
Yeah.
something's got to work itself out
Yeah.
coming down the stretch here.
And I'm going to give you guys one last consolation game. Well, actually 2, because there is another major game of the week that's going to be happening for some teams in this playoffs. I think you mentioned it, that I believe SWAC and Beacon Hill are actually tied now.
Yep.
Is that correct? In the
SWAC
senior division?
In the senior division, we have SWAC.
in Beacon Hill.
Beacon
And they
Hill.
play this
They
week.
play this
Yep,
week.
they play
This
this
Sunday.
week.
Yep.
And they playing in the old slick grass. They're
Yeah.
going back to the original. They're going
Okay.
down to Rainier Playfield.
Okay. Okay.
Y'all ready? This old school football.
Right. Straight up and down.
Huh?
Straight up and down.
Y'all going to old school football, grass field, Rainier Playfield.
Right. Right.
That's going to be a game, too.
Bring your A game.
That's going to be a good one.
Could get sloppy too. I don't know
Yeah.
what the forecast is
Yeah.
for this weekend.
Definitely could.
So it's going to come down to coaching, and execution, and whoever makes the fewest mistakes. That's going to be the name of the game, especially playing on that grass.
Right.
And one last consolation game.
We didn't make our predictions, man, as far as the score.
Oh, you got predictions?
Yeah.
Here they go.
So-
Y'all know I don't do
so-
it. They call me Switzerland.
So-
you guys go ahead and
Hey,
do it.
so for my game of the week for 5-star and Puget Sound Lancers, I think this week, since Curtis jumped on my head last time about as far as points being scored, I think I'm gonna go with we're gonna say a 20.
Oh, they said 63 no
Twen-
clouds. All right.
24 to, I'll say 24-14 game. Give them a
24-14 for the-
5-star. I'll give them the edge on this one.
Wow.
I'll give them the edge on this
Okay.
one. I think they got enough horses to pull it out. Like I said, I believe always in the first half is always a battle. You know what I mean? But I believe in the later stages of the game, they'll go ahead and pull that one out.
That freshman game, again, Puget Sound 5-star. I'm excited to watch that game because I honestly don't know if they're going to face 5-star is going to face a more physical team thus far on the schedule than that Puget Sound team I saw last week.
Right.
That running back was legit, and the cat again built like a fire hydrant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stout and strong to the ground, low to the
Right,
ground. So
right.
it was that's gonna be a close one. That's gonna be a low. I'm saying like maybe 13-8, 13-7,
Right.
12-7, something
Right.
like that.
Some of that nature.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
mean,
close.
And I'm gonna take Big Bro's pick. I'm gonna take Benson and CD freshman, and I'm gonna give a score for that one as well. I really believe that this will be a 12-6 game. I think that it'll be that close. And I'm gonna give
You calling
the
an
edge.
upset?
Oh, I'm gonna give the edge to Benson this week.
Whoa!
I said it.
You heard it here.
I said it.
Oh,
Not
T-
from me.
I said it.
T is like fuming right now.
I said it.
You about to blow
I
a
said it.
gasket.
So make sure you all go out and check that game out. All these games of the week, and then next week we'll come back. And if I have to eat crow, if I have to come back next week and say, hey,
Ooh.
I called it wrong. But that's what I'm going with this week.
He said 12-6,
Benson.
Benson over CD Panthers, freshman game.
I sure did.
Way
Now-
to step out on that limb.
He
Watch
did,
it break.
he did step out. And there is another consolation game I have to throw out there. It's going to be a heck of a game. Now, I'm giving the edge. I'm going to be honest. I'm giving the edge to CD on the junior level. They're playing Benson. But Benson isn't going to be the pushover that I think some teams may think. This is probably one of the most feistiest little teams, and they're a young team.
It is.
You know, honestly, if they were just in a single grade, 5th grade division, they will be one of the top teams in the state.
They would give a lot of folks
You know
problems.
what I mean? They would give problems, and they're already stepping up. So
Right.
that's another game that you guys want to catch this week. So make
calling
sure
an
check
upset
it.
there?
I'm not calling it
What?
an upset. No way.
Come on, Switzerland.
No way. I just told you the edge goes to CD.
That's old middle ground.
I thought you-
By the way, Chuck just reminded me of something that I wanted to do.
God, here we go.
Hey, I need you guys' input on this. We were talking, and sometimes we talk about just bonehead plays that coaches make. You know, because that happens, right? They're human, just like everybody else.
Is
Sometimes,
that what we could put it under?
well, no, we're not. They're human, but so I don't know if you guys used to watch the Flintstones. There used to be a little Martian guy by the name of the Great Kazoo. His name was the Great Kazoo. We want to come out with the Great Kazoo Award
Right.
and get a T-shirt that says "Hello, Dum Dum." So we want you guys to start giving us your Great Kazoo Award for who was the Hello Dum Dum Coach of the Week.
Right.
So that we can, in fun, we ain't clowning nobody,
Right.
but in fun. But sometimes there are those Hello Dum Dum moments
Some
that we have
bonehead
to just say.
moments.
I've had some, no, maybe 1 or 2 Hello Dum Dum moments.
Right. It
You know,
happens.
but it happens.
It
It
happens.
happens. So you guys chime in, let us
Oh,
know
my God.
this coming week without trying to tear people down. It's all in fun. Give us your Great Kazoo Award. We're not calling it the Hello Dum Dum Award. We're calling it the Great Kazoo Award. And sometimes you just miss it.
Right.
All right? And please don't be a parent of that team. They just told me about a viral video. Parents talking bad to coaches. Let the coaches coach.
Please.
All right? I actually want this to come from coaches.
Yeah.
Parents don't send them send them in.
We're ignoring the parents one. We'll take the coach one.
All right, real quick, guys. I know we're way over our time. I want to hit real quick our All-Star Weekend. I'm going to give a quick recap, you guys. That's going to be November 17th through the 19th. We're going to have a couple of locations. Our recognition ceremony is going to actually be that Friday night, November 17th, at the Red Lion Hotel. We're going to have a bunch of ballrooms filled up. This year will be theater style. We're going to announce soon who our guest speaker is going to be, but it's going to be food. The cost of that event for parents is $20 a person. Parents, understand that there's only 180 available tickets for you because we have a lot more kids and coaches to get in. So unless you don't mind waiting out in the lobby, get your tickets soon. And you only get in with a wristband, so you got to have that. We'll have some packages to come out for you soon. That next morning, Saturday morning, we're going to have a dynamic workshop for you guys, breakfast for the kids. If you want breakfast, you can also pay $20 for breakfast. If you want to join us, the players are going to be covered in their package that we'll talk about at a later date. But parents, guests, come on out. We got some amazing workshops. We got Me 360, which is going to cover learning styles to just help us understand. Sometimes we're frustrated with our kids and we haven't helped them discover the best way they learn or how they're wired. So we're going to have a whole workshop on that, just helping our kids become more proficient and more efficient in the things that they do, because we're trying to get them prepared to be those student athletes that we know that they are. We also got someone coming out from Grad Tech that's going to deal with college prep, but also with leveraging it and leaning more towards sports recruitment, as well as talking about college tours. We're planning on in the future beginning to set up a regional deal for 8th grade college tour for our 8th graders to go on tour to see some schools and walk on campuses and, you know, just get that experience. And then we also have 2 of the best training facilities in the Northwest. We're going to have Tracy Ford there with FSP. He will be sharing. We're going to also have in the house Reggie Jones with AIR. He will be present also with a table to answer questions. So definitely you want to be here because we're getting ready to roll out day 1 to D1. That's going to build a whole player profile and be the total wraparound services for your student athlete so we can help them launch into the best opportunities for them. So make sure you don't miss it. It's going to be a heck of a weekend. Yes. That Saturday night, they're going to do the cheer competition. We're going to have that going. We're going to be rocking it out. Also, I think I mentioned to you last week that after the banquet on Friday night, we got bingo, cash prize bingo.
$1 bill.
Come on.
Cash prize bingo.
Come on.
Tell your grandma,
Come
your
on.
aunties,
Everybody.
your uncles.
Tell
Tell
them.
them all come out. It's for a good cause because we're going to try to help send some kids, you know, to go play in the AYF. Also, we're trying to help send some kids to go play in a couple other games around the country. We just want to support our kids, you guys, and we want to get more exposure to more kids as much as possible. We got a few kids playing FBU, so quite a few. So we want want to just stand and support our kids to give them the best opportunity that we can. With that being said, guys, I'm going to quickly transition. I want to give a special shout out real quick also to the Ravens 14U team that's going to be going down to Orange County on this Saturday, or actually Sunday. They will play them this Sunday. Orange County Buckeyes, the former number 1 team in NYAA. They're ranked number 15 right now, but that ranking doesn't give any.
Right.
It doesn't really speak to the fact of how good they are.
Right.
They were the number 1 team in the country for a reason. And so the Ravens are going to go have a real test on their hands this week. Also, we want to give a special shout out to CD Panther sophomores, bumping up a spot to number 3. We had 6 teams in the AYF get ranked. Wow. So we had CTAC, we had I think 2 CD teams, CD seniors, Beacon Hill, and obviously the Puget Sound Lancers and the Ravens. So we're going to continue to push our teams, get you guys more exposure, keep having a conversation with the people that we got having conversations with. Is bringing teams up. We got Baldwin Hills coming up soon. Now I just got told that IE Ducks is talking about coming up soon, that we'll be making some things happen with some folks. So stay tuned. And until next time, you guys, we're signing off. I'm Clarence Presley. This is Deshaun Presley. This is Charles Burnham. And look forward to a new show we're going to bring out called
Can't Fix Stupid.
Can't Fix Stupid.
What?
Can't Fix Stupid.
We got a show coming out called Can't Fix Stupid, featuring this dude. We're going to let him loose, and he's going to begin to just have a little bit of fun with the folks.
Don't get fined.
Don't get fined.
You won't
Chuck.
get fined. We promise.
Don't get fined. So signing off. God bless you guys. Have a safe weekend. And till next time, we'll see you next one.
Thank you.